You know,
Yeah.
because I've always said marriage had to be a part of that. So, well, let me
Okay.
ask this question. Let's switch it a little bit.
Dang, he
So,
pivot. He said marriage would be a part of the whole family thing. Like, so you was only getting.
I was only
That's
having kids. I can only have kids if I'm in the household,
okay. All
and
right.
I'm not cohabitating.
Okay.
So,
So you had to be married.
yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
So let me ask you this question:
Hmm.
Do you feel like, because I feel like sometimes people, I feel like we don't evolve on certain things, but yet we think, or we think that certain things must stay the same, right? So within that example, I think marriage is one of those things that, I mean, I would get married. I'm not opposed to getting married, but do you feel like it's a, I don't say obsolete, but do you feel like marriage is a requirement now as it was, back then? Because everything back then, everybody's like, okay, y'all been together for a long time, get married. And it's like I never subscribed to that. I was like, well, if you don't want to get married, then you don't have to get married. Um, but how do you feel about that?
Man, this is a loaded conversation because marriage is okay. So I'm gonna tie it back to the earlier thing, right? My mom has been married maybe five times now, 5 times. My dad was married once, and
Mhm.
like both of them, like I tell people, I'm my mother and my father's child. Both of them suck at their relationships, right?
Your mom been
For
married
what?
5 times?
Yeah, my mom been married. It might be six now. Yeah, yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
shoot. I mean, love who you love.
It's not love at that time though. Like it's just a process to at that point. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know.
That's
Like I don't know. That's the hard
I
part
like
about it.
you, you like me. Let's get in the relationship. Let's get married.
Yeah. So we ain't living in sin, right? So like,
Mhm.
man, this
As
is
fuck.
so.
It's like just be. I remember going over grandma's house. I can't remember. It was what was that old man name? And I think back now, I was like, grandma was fucking him because
Wait,
he
who you
what
do?
what's his name? He uses this. Was it? I can't, not Ben or Fred or Sam. I can't. I just remember he used to always be sitting in the chair when we was at the house. I was like, but I never thought of it as a kid, because I'm just there
Yeah, who
to
was this nigga?
play with Legos and shit. But that thing used to. I'm gonna ask Ray. Ray know his name because Ray used to be over there. They used to be over there a lot more. I mean, I remember him. I just can't think of his name. I know Ray and know his name, but man, that dude was. But all that being said, you look at, and don't get me. I mean, whether your mom was married 5 times or Uncle Joey's married 1 time, it's just like, I look at it like I don't know too many people that stayed married. You know, they, like, say for instance, when people say, "Well, why haven't you gotten married and stuff like that?" I was like, I just
Yeah,
haven't.
that's your first
I'm
question, right? Why you ain't
yeah.
been married? I'm
But the thing
I'm
is, most of the time
compatible with every.
they're either divorced or they in a situation, and it's like I mean, if Tina, Tammy, or mom ask me why I'm not married, I'm like, none of y'all are married. So we're like, I don't feel like it's almost
So
asking, it's asking that question why that we talked about earlier, but I'm like, why is that a thing if you don't have, like, if Tone's married right now, Tone asked me that, I'll still tell him, like, because I'm not, it's not
yeah,
there's no rhyme and reason behind it, but um it's just interesting that I feel like some things are, in my opinion, I see them as archaic. And
well, see, I
yeah.
believe in marriage. I believe in marriage.
Mhm.
I believe in finding somebody that you can be happy with, and y'all can, like, the construct of marriage is definitely dope, right? Where you can
Mhm.
meet
Yeah,
somebody,
you
build
have to
something,
meet the right person. It got to just make the most sense. But
and
I just don't
build
feel like,
something together. See, like you build something together so it
mhm,
can't be broken by, by time, or broken by just changing the mind, or broken by being, bored or whatever.
mhm,
So
yeah,
like I know that I and this is one of the things that I've been rocking with. Is like my purpose has been driven by my goals, right? And
mhm,
no woman has stood in front of my goals. Like
mhm,
it's cool, you know what I'm saying? It's cool to have a woman and be cool and whatever. But my goal is to my goal is to build something that builds a legacy for not just me, but for my people, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so when I say that, and that's a lot of pressure for. I don't want to put that on somebody else, right?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but because that's a lot of pressure. It's like, and if you're not trying to help me, cool, I'll build it myself. You know what I'm saying? Like I
Mm-hmm.
have no problem doing that. But like I had never, I've never, and I'm gonna tell you this, I'm pretty settled in who I am. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
and
like
that's
if you
that's
tell
fine.
me if you would have said before, like maybe when I was in my 20s, like I probably should have got married when I was in my 20s.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, being that like my kids could have probably seen how it was supposed to work, but even though that relationship didn't work into like didn't manifest into what I wanted it to do, it was still
Mm-hmm.
a maturity. Like that relationship was longer than most people's marriage. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying?
Mm-hmm.
But I say that to say that working with people and working through some stuff takes a lot. And
Yeah,
then
because you don't
and
have to. You don't have to as an adult. Like I can literally, and stand in one house. Bro, I don't understand how. And they said a lot of marriages, like within COVID, um, didn't work because they were in the same space. And you got to think you have an escape to go to work from 8 to 5 or whatever your hours are, and then now it's family time. But can you imagine that 8 to 5 or the 40 hours like being combined with someone else's 40 hours
if
and
it,
not.
if it's a beautiful person and like y'all can vibe and y'all can have conversations where y'all talking with each other, y'all can build on stuff. I can see that. Do I see that happening a lot of times? I don't. And so when people
You in my
ask me that
space.
question,
I get damn near upset if you knock on my door and you're at the house. Like no, let me work, nigga. Like where I go? Like,
I fully understand that, and I like
Mhm,
and what you said before, like like keeping your peace. I tell people I pay for my peace. I
yeah.
pay for my own place. I pay for my own space. I pay
Hmm.
for my own domain, right? I
Hmm.
can do what I want to do in my space because I paid for it. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And that I don't know if that translates to being cooperative in the marriage unless there's an understanding or unless there's some space. So one of my things when I do get married is I will have an in-law suite, and that in-law suite might just be my man cave to where I go and not have to talk to nobody, close my door, and don't worry me. I might be in there for a day. I don't know how this works. I know my dad used
Uncle
to be on
Joey
this
had
couch.
that
Yeah,
in the basement. Like, I
and
mean,
I know
I
my
get it.
dad used to be on this couch too, right? Like,
Hmm.
and whenever he was in the bedroom, I knew something had to be going on because like
Hmm.
that was not his spot. You know what I'm saying? But
Hmm.
I say this to say growth, and like now that I'm 48 and I'm looking, I'm like, yo, is this somebody I can build with? Is this somebody like I like that's on the same wavelength for me? Is somebody that won't want to take me to the place? Because I I'm gonna be honest with you. I had never opened myself up to somebody wanting to help me with my project, right?
Okay.
Uh, and then if they are, do they really know what they're getting into, right? You know what I'm saying? Like because I might be just like that job, like I'm gonna bring it back to music, man. Prince said these two things. He was like, maybe I'm just like my mother. She's never
Hmm.
satisfied. My mother, I don't know if she's satisfiable because she always has these. She, I ain't gonna say she moves the bowl, what's it called?
The goalposts.
The goalpost.
Hmm.
But she has the ideal of what she wants, and it changes and mutates, and she goes with it, right?
Hmm.
And then he said too bold. Maybe I'm just like my father,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
And now my father is that other stretch of me. You know what I'm saying? That's like, yo, I'm gonna do things my way, and if you don't like it, you shut up, or else you might be in the other room, or else you might not be around. You know what I'm saying? So like, hey, both of them fit me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I'm working through it, and like I can't say that the ideal of it is still exciting to me. To
Yeah,
find the
yeah. I
match.
would love. I mean, I would love to give me. I mean, I've had conversations about it, but I know when you said the sweet, I'm like, man, like it's it's giving up a like I said, it's beautiful. I mean, I could get married, but it's just you're literally compromising that part of you that it's like I really enjoy waking up and not being, not to say bothered, but I really enjoy waking up not having to worry about someone in the house. Period.
Where are you, right? So
Yeah,
so
and like I don't have like a relationship where it'll end up being like where they're annoying, but at the same time, it's just like it's the potential. And
yes, yeah, and people
yeah.
have the potential to annoy you. I
Mhm,
ain't gonna say easily, but it's just the little stuff that accumulates, and you like, no, are you thinking? Are you here right now? Or like,
mhm,
but I'm gonna tell you, my brother Ricky,
mhm.
we were talking about. He was like, yo, it is the fact that you get to wake up and to somebody that you love and want to be around, and I
Mhm.
was like, dang. How does that work? Have you ever met somebody you wanted to wake up just to be around her?
That'd be dope. I mean, so I look at it like this. I'm hoping like to get married. I'm like, if I'm sacrificing this this part of me of wanting to be alone, then all of the bills are shared and it's half and half unless you work for $30,000 a year or something. And I
What,
wouldn't marry nobody at $30,000 a year. But I'm
oh
just
dang,
saying
it's a money mark. But what if she make more money than you? Like how you feel about that?
we can still split it.
You still split?
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
Oh, is it a split or is it a merger? Right? So like the other part about that is I kind of want to merge stuff together to be like, yo, we move as a unit. Now we all have our separate spending accounts. So like the money
Mhm.
comes into a pot and like my boy, shout out to Kente, like I don't know if I'm telling too much of his stuff on here, but what I
He'll be
really
all right.
enjoy, I really enjoy
I,
how
I
he,
mentioned his name in the title, so he watched the video.
I really enjoy how him and his wife, both of them engineers. So his
Mhm,
wife a little bit more logical than a lot of other women, right?
mhm.
But he says, hey, we bring all the money in. What's our goal? If our goal is to retire at 52, then this is what it's gonna take. We retire at 52. We got this much money allowance. You get $600 a week. I get $200 a week, and if we keep running this track, if we keep doing this, all these bills we'll be able to retire comfortably at age 52. Right? His wife.
Now I gotta rethink my life and shit. Because 52 is not, damn shit. I need to get married.
Man,
I need to make more money,
well,
and
just think about it,
and
man.
we need to
Like
split our bills. And
if your wife make, let's say she makes three-quarters of what you make,
mhm.
that's doubling your budget for damn near doubling your budget for the year. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but sometimes I've seen or heard where like I don't understand this logic, and this is why I'm saying like the archaic part about it is like, well, the man is supposed to do this, the woman is supposed to do this, and I'm like, well, no, that's not how it is anymore. Like you have to evolve in order to be successful within a relationship or marriage. And I feel like a lot of people have these certain things that they think like, well, the man's supposed to pay all the bills, or the man is supposed, like the man bring. But no, I feel like it's a different. There's no way in hell I'm paying all of the bills, and you just over here with your salary. Like no, we putting this together.
Nah,
Like
that
we building
to
together.
me, to me, you're not gonna work me. You know what I'm saying? Like I can work. If I'm work, I might as well work by myself and read the post. There's no benefit to me doing that. And like I
If somebody
understand that.
moves into my house expecting for me to pay all of the bills, then they don't need to move into my house because because that's creating a headache for me. Is what I'm saying. Like that's creating. I mean, not creating a headache. I don't want to say that. That's adding to that potential annoyance that I talked about. So it's like, well,
That is
shit,
annoying because
yeah,
now
I'm paying
not
for you
only are you
now,
paying
and my bills
everything,
go up.
yeah, and my bills go up, and I got to deal with whatever attitude you may have, or maybe I have attitude, and I'm gonna tell you this, I have felt like I had an attitude because I've carried everybody. You know what I'm saying? I'm like,
Mhm.
yo, I'm doing all this, I'm doing all this, and like I hope that like when you get married that other person recognize and knows that you do all that and try to alleviate some of the stress from you. And that's what I'm hoping that it works. I so I got another homeboy.
And you compromising your space too, because like they got
Yeah,
shit. So it's like, well, shit. Now you got to take
yeah,
down like 30 to
and you
50.
got their family. You got their family, and maybe they
Mhm.
closer with their family, and they like to get over and stuff like that.
No
And
more
like,
shoe room.
yeah,
No more Lego room. No more record room. It's all gonna be stuff. I almost feel like getting married. We just got to buy a new house together.
yeah, that's probably what it's gonna be. Cause like I know I'm not moving into a chick house. Cause like
Hmm.
I have a fear of being like this still your shit. You know what I'm saying? Like you
Hmm.
put me
Yeah.
out, and then what
But
like
the thing is, like, you wouldn't. I don't think you would do that to them. But I would have that fear to move into someone else's space, and then you get mad, and you be like, I just don't want to see you. You got to leave. Like I'm like, wait a minute. This is
yeah
us. This is our house. But I would never put nobody out of my house just because we had an argument or something like that. But I feel like that potential is a thing. I mean, I feel like that could be a thing with someone else's house.
yeah, especially when they're more emotionally more of their decisions are emotionally based, right?
Hmm.
So yeah, those intricates and like so the ideal of marriage, I say to answer your question altogether, because I think that the ideal of marriage is a beautiful thing, and that
Hmm.
like when you find somebody who compliments you, and I ain't trying to shit on nobody who got divorced or
Hmm.
whatnot, but if you've been divorced, uh, I like then like I guess going into it, if you think it forever, you got to understand that people evolve and change at different times, and that compromise of who you are. Because like I'd be tripped out if I was married to somebody 10 years and all of a sudden they was like, "Yeah, I want to become a comedian," and that was the
So
stories
you
from
want to
my
be a comedian
yeah that dog. So the dude
or rapper?
oh, dog, that'd even be wilder, right? I'm gonna be a rapper. Support me, y'all. Support me. I support you this time. But that dude Kev on stage, he basically evolved into that. He was like 5 years into their marriage. He was like, yo, I want to try being a comedian. And
Hmm.
I know his wife. I would
I
have been
didn't
like,
realize that because they've been together for a long time, right?
yeah, yeah, they've been together. So and then like you hear stories about that, like they work. But I forgot about my boy Ed. Now my boy Ed, uh, I met him in Florida. He's from Chicago, right? Ed will sit there and tell you, man, she do her thing, I do my thing. I'm like, that's how it works. Well, so what's the? He's like, look, she making as much money as I do, so I gave her more bills. But basically, I do me, she do her, and I hate asking her for shit. I'm like, damn,
Hmm.
your wife? He was like, yeah, man, because he was like, if I was to like, cause he got a Land Rover that he thinking about selling, right?
Hmm.
And she got a car that she got a lease, and she don't want the car no more. He was like, if I took over her lease for her, she would never do it for me. And I was like, dude, are you serious? He was like, yeah, man, she only out for herself. I was like, but
I can't be
I
with nobody like that.
I thought y'all vibe. He was like, man, we do vibe like that. This is high school sweetheart, so it's been going for a long time.
Nah,
They got
this is different. Like I don't want to, stop what you're saying, but
no, that's fine.
it comes down to. Like, I feel like sometimes with people within relationships base it off of time versus like it being great. It's like just because this is high school sweetheart, you can outgrow your high school sweetheart, and that part of it too is like he caught her at an age that she may not have evolved within the relationship because of where they started. You caught me in if you caught me in high school or junior high, you might have caught me like having a way different attitude. It's like you like me, hey, because back then I wasn't really hollering at chicks like that. Shoot, all the chicks I was getting was from you and shit. It was like
But it was a
what I
circle,
got
not from me, but from we used to hang around and like, yo, it's she.
by association, like
Yeah,
literally by
yeah.
association. But it wasn't like I was, in Applebee's like, hey girl, what's up? Like, I'm Sean. Like, it's like no, I went.
Yeah, no,
But
I
I'm saying
still don't
like
have no game. That's how I be like, if I
I
don't
don't
have
have no
no.
game. I tell people all the time, every relationship for the most part has been by association. And I mean I holler at people, but at the same time is I like when I say I got no game, it's just some bitches understand my story. It's just like I start talking to people, and then that's how I've always built relationships. But it never was be like, hey girl, you looking finer than a I don't know some silky hair or something like that. Like, I don't know, but yeah, I never just flat out just like, oh man, you are. Because I'm ironically, I'm glad I'm not like that because nowadays it feels, I don't want to be recorded or like this dude is harassing me,
Yeah, yeah.
but I tell people all the
Is that
time, like,
is
I
that
gotta chase.
harassment?
I
Like,
want to chase you as much as you chase me, like within the relationship. I'm not going to sit up here and try to, convince you to like me. I think that's terrible.
yeah.
But I think some women want that, But it is what it is.
Man, that's that. Yeah. Well, see, I'm never like so. Beauty is only skin deep, right? So,
Hmm.
like, if you could be gorgeous, but then like you talk like you just a gold digger, and that would just straight go. We wouldn't be compatible. So a lot of times, like what I would be hollering at, or probably what I'd be going for, I probably wouldn't want in the long run anyway. You know what I'm saying? So like
Hmm.
that's the other part. But
Hmm.
then I don't have time for this shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that part.
Like,
I
like,
don't have time to convince you to like me. If you is it it's you like I really feel like life is this easy. I like you, you like me. Now let's figure out how we can meet somewhere like within the relationship. I don't ever feel like I don't ever think that it should ever be I'm trying to convince you to like me. Now, granted, I do feel like both should, like I said, both should chase each other. Because people say, well, and I tell people this like it's just kind of like my mentality about it. But if if you tell me you don't do something, and I tell you that's something that I love or that I like, most likely 99.9%, I'm going to go out and get that I love. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
that's just what it is. Like
Another part
I
of
told
that,
my ex one time, I was like, what you won't do, somebody else will. And
yeah,
she got mad at me for that. Like I was like, I'm just telling you, like I'm not trying to be an asshole about it. I'm literally just telling you, like that's what life is. Like you say, hey, I don't do da da da. I'm like, well, not necessarily that I'll plug somebody else in to do it. I mean, because it could be something, like, hey, I don't know, just something simple. Like I don't know. It's just I'm just saying in general, like people got to understand that. Like I never understood when people take sex off of the table, like to punish somebody. I thought that. I mean, I haven't like really encountered that, but I never understood why that was a thing. Like, oh well, we
you,
ain't sleeping together tonight. It's like
yeah, you put me on. I call them sex punishments, right? If you want to punish me with that, like we already know, like
I
for
will
one,
never be punished. I'm I,
all right, say
never.
it again, say it again,
I will
say it
never be punished. I'm too old for that shit.
again. Yeah,
Like we come from like you're not like back in the day. I'm taking your Nintendo and I'm putting it in the attic, and you're not getting it back until I'm ready to give it back to you. It's like what the fuck? Like I can't play Super Mario 3. What the fuck, man? You know, you're not taking anything away from me because the thing is when you take something away from somebody, like you a lot of times people I think people need to understand or try to figure out how to communicate better rather than automatically feel like, oh, I'm gonna punish you or I'm gonna do this or I'm not gonna respond to your text, to later on in the day or the next day or I'm not gonna call you. And honestly, bro, like you're not punishing me. it's a lot for me to communicate with people. So when people take away the communication, I'm like, damn, it feels good. Like I actually
I
feel
got
better
more
with
time.
this.
Yeah, I got more times on my hand. Yeah.
So yeah, don't take like the thing that I tell people the way you could punish me is my time. That's it. Like you say, hey, I'm gonna take this, da da da. I'm like, all right, man, whatever. But when you say, hey, look, we going we going to this and we gonna be here for the whole day, I'm like, fuck. like why can't we just be here for 2 hours? Why like I literally get annoyed and agitated by something that takes more than 2 hours a day. I'm like, no, it's
Yeah,
time to go
no,
home. It's time to do something different.
that's crazy. Yeah, because at the end of the day, you're agreeing to it though. Like they agree. You agreed to it before they scheduled it.
Yeah, that part. I mean, but the thing is, I just have to mentally prepare myself for it. So if you tell me like, oh well, we go do this in August, I'm like, all right, cool. But if you say, hey, WYD, I'm like, oh, then that's already a triggering thing for me anyway. But I hate when people ask me what I'm doing. Like, what the fuck? Why you? The fuck? but like
What you want? What you
right,
want?
literally. And I have to channel my mom's energy and try not to have that energy and just be like, oh, I'm working or I'm doing da da da, because I really feel like that if somebody's asking, and I told Ed this the other day, I was like, if somebody asks me what I'm doing, I feel like they outside my house waiting to come over. I really feel like they out there with binoculars, just waiting to hear my response. Oh, I ain't doing nothing. Okay, cool. Hey, you want to go do da da da? I'm like, oh god, like damn.
Damn, man. See, like you brought up Ed, and I was just thinking, I was like, dog, we are 3 degrees of Ed. Eddie is the most severe, right?
Mm-hmm.
Eddie don't like to be bothered. He be like, man, I don't give a shit. It don't matter.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I feel like
Eddie was
I
about to
feel,
beat my ass yesterday on the podcast. I'm like, calm down, nigga. Like,
what happened?
we was talking about NBA. We was talking about how NBA players can sacrifice money, and I was just essentially saying, I'm never sacrificing no money, But he was like, well, you don't think players should do that for? Because the question I think I asked him was, or the question I asked was, would I sacrifice $100 million for a championship? And I was like, no. I was like, I don't care if I have $400 million in the bank. Like, I'm still not sacrificing another $100 million. He was like, well, they rich and blah blah blah. I was like, I mean, I get it, but me personally. And then he was like, well, that's you. And I was like, yeah. I mean, I'm talking from my perspective. Like that's the only one I know. Because we were talking about LeBron and them when they took the Miami and they each took like $16 million. And I was like, they left money on the table. I was like,
Yeah.
I would never leave money on the table. Like,
I mean, but then you got players like Charles Barkley. I'm sorry to get in on this, but then you got players like Charles Barkley, and like you see how Shaq and everybody made fun of him because he ain't won the championship.
Barkley
And
don't care.
you think he would have? You think at that time probably? You think he would have took a $20 million cut to have an opportunity to play for a team that and contribute to a team that made the championship?
Nah, nobody's really sacrificing money back then anyway. Hell, bro, look, if you look at how the league has been, Jordan in 1996 and 1998, he made 30 million, 33 million, and 35, almost 36 million, them 3 years. No player has made that amount of money all the way up until like when they did the new CBA, like 2000.
2017, 2016,
2017. Yeah, 2000, 2017, 2018, somewhere around there. Yeah. Where they start. So nobody had made as much money as Jordan since 1996 to 2018. Jordan wasn't taking no sacrifice. Jordan didn't care. Jordan wanted his money. Jordan got his money where he was at. Like, and you talking 20, plus years. No, wait, 96, 2006, 2006. You're talking 20 plus years where no player had ever made that amount. I mean, look at it. So look at it like this. When I said the Miami thing, they signed each for $16 million, $16.6 million. That was in 2010. It's like I want all my money. I want all my coins. I think
I mean,
I think
dang, Tyler Hansborough making that much money now, right? Like he made,
no, listen.
ah,
Fucking Kristaps Porzingis is making $30 million a year. Drew Holiday is making $34 million a year. I didn't know Drew Holiday was making that amount. Drew Holiday is making almost as much. Well, he's making more money than Jordan made in '96. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? And
yeah,
it's not. And they say that what he made in 1996 is equivalent to making $60 million right now. So he's still technically making more money than what everybody was making at that time. Jordan wasn't leaving no money on the table. I'm never leaving the money on the table. If I'm Steph Curry, I would stay in Golden State, keep making $60 million a year. If I'm Jimmy Butler, I'm not taking I think he had 49. Like why not
man, he got that. I don't.
like
He got that double.
$49 million a year, and I'm be like, oh well, let me drop down to 20. And because the only person I thought it made sense to do the pay cut was my man Brunson from because he wanted to have Mikal Bridges come to New York.
His boy.
Yeah, and they went to school together. They are cool like that. So I mean, but no way. I mean, he's going. He didn't take like a serious cut. I mean, he's making $39 million a year.
I think it's like a 5% cut.
No, he's making $39 million a year. He could have made. He left $101 million on the table. So essentially,
he left $100 million. I thought the deal was 100, and he could have got like 120.
Nah, he left 101 on the table. He because what they were going to do, he ended up signing for 1 year less. I think.
Yeah,
wait,
yeah.
he signed for 1 year less.
It was a 5-year deal instead of the 6.
Yeah. So he essentially left 100. They said it was $101 million. Fuck that. Like I will fuck off $101 million before and I got $101 million. I care less about. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think championships are a part of your career, but I think somehow, some way, I don't know where this shit started happening, but like it became a thing, and I think it really started with Jordan, but it became a thing that if you didn't have a championship, then you're not that good. And
you're not a great player.
If you look at all the players that we watched in the '90s, it was dope ass players that. Like Barkley was one of my favorite players. Like Barkley was dope as fuck.
Chris Webber.
Webber. You got. I mean, Dirk only got one championship. He damn near didn't have that one. But
slid through that Miami. Yeah.
You got Iverson. But Iverson being
Iverson changed the culture of the NBA.
Yeah, sure. you got Tracy McGrady, who I'm not a huge fan of, but I mean he's a hell of a talent.
I mean, you got Vince Carter, who got some of the best highlights in the Olympics and NBA and college, and never won the championship. But Vince Carter kind of pissed me off because he could have played like an all-star all the time. I mean, like I think he gauged himself to be like, yo, I want instead of playing hard for 5 years, I'm gonna play semi-hard for 2.5 years. Vince Carter.
Oh, did I ever tell you about the article? It was an interview that he did, and I stopped fucking with Vince after that. It was an interview. I mean, I get it. It ended up working kind of the way that he said it, but the interview he was talking about, he was like, well, my mom told me to stop going to the hole as much because it is bad on my knees. So he started doing more jump shots. He started, he stopped what he was great at. I mean, he would do it from time to time, but like he took away his advantage. And in my opinion, you don't do that. Like you talk about Jordan's advantage was his athleticism. So Jordan dominated with that. And as he did that, his jumper got better. Oh, yeah. And he got more post moves, and his fadeaway was crazy,
Yeah, so being an old man who still like playing basketball, you got to develop an old man old man game, and
Yeah.
that is slow motion. That's post move. That's fadeaway. That's a slow motion fake,
Hmm.
almost a Euro step layup. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the one thing that Allen Iverson never developed. He was either athletic and then or nothing. And like
Yeah.
yeah, that like he never developed the old man game, and I don't think he ever wants to develop an old man game to this
Allen
day.
Iverson wanted to play the same way he played. Allen Iverson had a terrible ending to his career. And I'll say that the one thing that really annoyed me, but I thought it might be able to work, was when they traded Allen Iverson to Detroit. And when he went to Detroit, I was like, okay, instant offense. That's how I thought about it because I always thought Detroit. I don't know how it is, but Detroit always has issues. I don't know if it's just the way the organization is, but they always have a hard time having players that score a lot of points. I mean, you had Grant Hill, and you had Jerry Stackhouse, but outside of that, it's always been
We do better when we don't have a prolific scorer. We do better
right,
when the team is doing better on defense, right?
right,
I
yeah,
think that's what our culture. I think that's the grit and grind of the Pistons being like if you even think back in the bad boy days, we had Isaiah.
yeah. Isaiah
Uh,
was Isaiah was killing. Like Isaiah said, he could have scored more points. He
yeah,
said he said he
but
didn't. I mean,
I
he was
mean,
averaging 19 points and 10 or 9 assists or something like
yeah,
that.
but the team itself was what got you the 100. You know, between Bill, Isaiah, Dumars, and either Sally or Rodman just really tipped the ball to himself.
Yeah,
But yeah,
so wait. So why in the fuck would they get Iverson there if they know he's not going to be a scorer and they know he's not good on defense? I don't
man,
understand.
they was trying to change the identity of the team, which they've tried to do for like I would say maybe the last maybe the last 6 years. They've tried to be like, oh, we're gonna play up tempo, we're gonna score 100 and some points, and that's never been our do. Like playing
I
tough
mean,
defense.
Chauncey went out to Denver, and them niggas in the Western Conference Finals and shit.
Because Chauncey was a facilitator at that point, and he shot the three ball. Like
Mhm.
that's what he fit. Allen Iverson wasn't fitting that mold, and Allen Iverson ain't really never been a 3 point shooter.
Yeah, at all. Yeah,
Uh,
he's definitely mid range, but like I mean, he lived off his athleticism.
yes,
Um,
and when that first step wasn't getting past nobody, he kind of was like, "Oh fuck it, I'm shoot this shot,"
yeah,
and he played
yeah.
fly by night defense. But I still love Allen Iverson. I
Hmm.
hated that. I hated that. I didn't hate him being on our team, but it
Hmm.
didn't match. And I still didn't get a chance to see him in person,
Hmm.
even when he was playing for the Pistons. But
Hmm.
yeah, I think the one thing that Sam Prescott does well is find the culture and stick with it. And
Hmm.
I think that like between coaches and players, I think different cities have to have a theme to them. Like Detroit is just a Michigan is just a grit, grit state where
Hmm.
we want hard workers. We want people that said that that might not be thought about as the best, but when they get out on the court, they respect it. Like I think of Ben Wallace. Ben Wallace was never an All Star away from Detroit, right? We
Right.
made him a Hall of Famer, and that's because we let him do what he did.
Wait,
It-
was he an All Star in Chicago?
Nah, nah,
Okay.
I don't think so. I think
Okay.
because remember he got hurt the second year, but he didn't make the All
No,
Star team.
I thought he made it the first year, but I can't
Did he?
remember. I thought he
Yeah,
did. I remember. I never. That was about money. Detroit was offering 48 million. 4 years for 4 years for 48 million.
yeah.
Chicago offered 65 million for 4 years.
Oh, was it
I'm
4 years or 5 years? 5 years.
four.
Oh, I thought they had an extra year on there.
Nah, but look at that, right?
Yeah,
That's fucking $12 million a year. Jordan made 30 fucking $1 million in 1996.
yeah. When it meant something, right? But
That
to see,
was
but see, man, let me flip all this on your head too, right?
mhm,
Jordan, money made by basketball and the shoes, right? And
mhm,
marketing deals, right?
mhm.
How in the fuck could Kanye be worth more than Jordan? You know what I'm saying? How in the
He's not.
fuck can Kanye
Nah,
can
he's not.
Kanye brand? They were saying that his shoe deal at the time was worth 3 point something billion dollars, right?
No,
Which was
that's his deal.
higher
That
on the list than Michael Jordan was on the Forbes list at the time. Like
I
he
gotta
was
look at
worth.
that because it's because so Jordan has an interesting like Jordan has well, I think he gets 4%, which is crazy. But I mean I don't know if that's just how deals are built, but he gets 4%.
Remember, they weren't built like that before he got that deal.
You said what?
They weren't built. They weren't giving people. They weren't giving people percentage of their shoes
But
before he
Jordan
got
has
the
a
deal.
brand though. It's
Yeah,
under
but
his
I'm
name.
saying, before his mom put that in the deal that she wants to grow with the
Oh no no
shoes.
no no no! I'm talking
Yeah,
about no. I'm talking about once he created Jordan Brand. Like when he got Jordan Brand, Jordan gets 4% of all sales. That was in 1997. That was a ushered in. That was another like he was getting money off of per shoes before, but he got more when he like 'cause it's Nike, then it's Jordan. Like Jordan
yeah,
is under the Nike brand. It used
yeah.
to
It's like a whole separate.
be
Yeah,
Nike, but
yeah.
um,
Now
but
Jordan is his own corporate structure, right?
yeah. So now I'm interested because I mean Yeezy fucked off that deal, but I got to look at that because Yeezy did have. I mean Yeezy didn't like Yeezys was starting to pump out a lot before he went crazy on this tirade, but Jordan's like
Tried and
Jordan had
true. Yeah,
yeah.
like
Like
streetwear,
look,
basketball wear, everything where you got a pair of Jordans for, right?
but look at it like this. Back in the day, we had one Jordan drop. Well, we started getting more colors, but like say for instance, Jordan 1, we had what 3 different colorways drop. At least what we were, I wasn't buying. I mean, I didn't get a pair of Jordans to the sixes, but even then, I think the sixes probably had the most colorways at the time because you had
Yeah.
the
What they
black
have four?
infrared, white infrared, you had the white September blue, you had the white and burgundy ones. I remember Calvin Stiff had those, like
Yeah, he
on a
played in
bunker
on.
team.
Yeah, he played.
Um, yeah, so and then you had the Carmines or the red suede ones and shit. So you had 5 colorways, but now you have a Jordan dropping every week, sometimes 2. You
Really?
know, shoes are being pumped out way. I mean, I'm saying like Jordan. Well, Yeezys aren't around anymore, but I'm interested to see because like I said, we would have one Jordan 1, we have one Jordan 5. I mean, they started throwing them every now and then, but now you got them bitches dropping every fucking week. You have a Jordan 5 drop on Thursday, a Jordan 4 drop on Friday, and I'm like, damn shit. But let me ask you this question. Back to it, and we could probably wrap up after this. But would you take a ring over 100 million? Even say for instance, you got 400 million in the bank or whatever. Would you do that?
So this is so here's my take on it, and this is the math of me, right? Like the back end is where the real money is made, right? So
Mm-hmm.
on the back end, uh, I think Gilbert Arenas talked about this before, right? Gilbert Arenas can't go somewhere and say he a champion, right? He can't parlay that into a coaching job like, yo, I'm a champion as a player. Like if I could use that, if I could leverage that ring to if I could leverage that ring, yeah, I might would because I know I could put it in conversation where I could say
How
it's
do you
worth.
leverage it though? Like I don't
Oh,
like
because
Gilbert with a ring or not. I'm just saying like in that example, Gilbert with a ring or not with a ring, it's still fucking Gilbert Arenas, and I still don't. Even if he won a championship, I don't think that a team. I mean, I fuck with Gilbert Arenas. I love their pie. I mean, I listen to it all the time. Them and Jeff Teague's Club 520. But you are who you are.
yes,
It's like saying like Jordan has 6 rings, but Jordan is not or hasn't or is not considered a great owner at the time. It's like, well,
yeah,
it don't necessarily
he's still
always
not a
translate.
great owner or a GM. Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't always translate. And I feel like the ring is a part of it.
Hmm.
And I'm always the money now. I'd rather have money now rather than money later. You know, because
Okay.
you look at it like from a career standpoint, right? Say, for instance, we working on that shit, right?
Yeah.
Like, if somebody offers me 200, say 250 right now, I'm leaving. I'm down there, Dave Chappelle, that bitch, and just like after he got married to Oprah, and kick over all the shit in the fucking office to go take that money. You know what I'm
But
saying?
so Shantae,
Say for
okay.
instance, if I put it in like I put it in a closer term, like say I make 150 and someone offers me 175,
Mm-hmm.
I'm still out. You know, I'm just saying, like, even if it's a closer range, you know, like, because 100 million to 500 or to 400 million, that's, you
Well,
know,
I'm gonna say this goes back
20%.
to our I'm gonna say this goes back to our earlier conversation, right? They're always trying to do something to disqualify you, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if the championship ring, so like you got 2 degrees, right?
Mm-hmm.
Would you say, hey, I, I'll take you give me the degrees and I'll give you 300 for 2 years, right? But you can't have the
300,
degrees back.
300K,
Yeah, 300K for 2 years.
and you can have my degrees.
Yeah.
You can have all them hoes. Have them.
You still gotta work, and you still, you know what I'm
You
saying,
can
and
have,
like you still
you can
got the
have all them
1-on-ones. You
shits.
still, they might put it. What is that? PIP? What the fuck is that? That
Oh, you
they
talking about the
ask people?
PMP?
Yeah, no, the like what
Oh,
performance
you talking
improvement
about
plan.
performance something plan?
Improvement plan. Yeah,
Yeah.
performance improvement plan. See, like you see what I'm saying? Like I understand that's a good 600, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like and then I don't get to reference my degrees anymore. Like, so so I'm gonna tell you, like you said, the way that my life has already shook out, I forgave my degrees and went straight for the money, right?
Yeah.
Uh, so I will say I probably would take the money because I can
Mm-hmm.
do more with the money right now.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Money now is always
I'll
better than
take
money
money,
later,
and
and nothing's ever guaranteed.
yeah, but see that championship, like it's only so many championship teams, right? It's only
But
so.
so you brought up a great point. Everybody doesn't win a championship, so it doesn't hold that much weight as far as hiring or not hiring someone. Like you're not going to hire, um, like say for instance what they got going on with the NBC deal. You're not going to hire Andre Iguodala over Carmelo Anthony for NBC right now just because Carmelo doesn't have a championship. They're essentially hire in my I could be totally wrong,
Uh,
but essentially they're hiring Carmelo because he has an association to Jordan Brand, and you know Jordan signed on as a special broadcaster or something like that.
yeah, so I ain't understand that deal either. Is he gonna be a commentary or what? But I think he
Listen,
really
man,
took
that
that.
deal, in my opinion, is just to keep his name out there and make sure he still sells shoes. Because when LeBron retires, all of that talk, as far as because the league won't let, we still talking about Jordan 22 years later, and the league will not, or not the league, but these um, commentators and stuff like that will not let the narrative of who's better, LeBron or Jordan, go away, which keeps Jordan within the conversation, keeps them
Mhm.
selling shoes. You know, once LeBron is gone, nobody who are you comparing Jordan to? So, which means that there's going to be a dip in that, or who Jordan would be compared to, which means they're not going to sell as many
Is
shoes. I
that
mean, they're still
still a
going to
big?
sell jerseys.
Is that a big conversation still? Like I know that they try to keep it relevant, and I'm gonna be like I'm be
As long
honest.
as Jordan, as long as he's playing, it's a conversation, in my
I
opinion.
th-
So,
I think I think Jordan is doing this for 2 things. I think he's like, yo, Tom, you ain't getting all this motherfucking money. Tom, I'm the GOAT.
mhm,
And I don't have an association, and I seen how much money that Tom getting for just talking about basketball.
mhm.
And then and then Charles, you, everybody love you commentating and stuff, but I'm Jordan. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I want you to do me a favor. I want you to go and watch the Oprah the Oprah interview with Jordan, and just watch the segment when they brought Barkley on. And when you watch that segment, you see back then Barkley has the charisma or has what I mean, I feel like Barkley almost made Jordan uncomfortable because he commanded the conversation. And it wasn't by intention. It was just that's who
Who
he
he
is
is.
as a person.
Yeah.
And Barkley's definitely calmed down more. He's in his 60s, but he's definitely, you know, different a little bit now compared to, his energy before because you had him, no role model and all this stuff and blah blah blah. But I think Jordan, in my opinion, I could be totally wrong, but I always feel like I don't think Jordan's I don't say a great talker. He's just not a he. I feel like he's great in certain lanes. Like he's great at motivating. So you see his commercials. It's mostly Spike Lee talking, or it's like he's saying certain things, or it's like be like Mike. Where it's a full ass jingle where he's just hooping with a bunch of kids outside drinking Gatorade and shit. So it's like I don't know. I really feel like it's not necessarily a money grab, but just to make sure that his brand is visible.
Yo, but if you look at all his documentaries where he's actually narrating,
That's the most
like,
he's ever talked in 20 years.
and he still got like, I think his
He's
pettiness.
interesting. I mean, shit. I
I
mean,
think his pettiness, like that nigga is a petty nigga, dog. And I understand, but you know what's that? What I like about him is he had fun, and I think he enjoys his. I think he enjoys himself. I just, like I said, his motivation is to still be number one somewhere, right? Like,
but in that
did you?
arena, I just don't see it. Barkley is just natural. Like Barkley is just naturally funny. Barkley could say some shit that don't even make sense, but you be like, but it's funny, it's entertaining, and it's Barkley. I don't feel like Jordan has that he has that flexibility
Uh-huh.
or that like that what's that humility. Like I don't think Jordan ever want like just imagine him and I mean it's always good like Jordan controls the narrative, so you're not going to see Jordan and Barkley up there at the same time, or you're not going to see Jordan and Isaiah up there at the same time. Jordan's going to say, well, when I come on, it better be Reggie Miller and Carmelo Anthony, or that's just what he does. And I mean, you know,
Well, see, I like to see that bravado that he had, especially when like the way that what's the kid that he drafted and he talked so bad about him, like you.
he was terrible though.
Uh, uh,
That nigga
no,
was
he was
terrible.
actually serving Kwame Brown, right? And
Yeah,
I
Kwame
be
was
listening
not
to
good.
some of the stuff he talk about now, right? Kwame crazy,
Yeah,
but
Kwame was not that good. I mean, and it's okay. I mean,
he
I,
was a serviceable big man.
you
I
you were the
think
number
Jordan
one
took his
pick.
heart. I think Jordan took his heart. It wasn't his fault. You know what I'm saying? Like he
Yes, it
was the number one
was.
pick. Like,
Listen,
but
you are the number one pick. And that draft wasn't that good either. I mean, Jason Richardson was in that draft. I think he was like fifth or sixth or something like
yeah,
that. I think Shane Battier was in that draft too.
yeah, Shane
Um,
Batty. Gilbert was in that same. What you call it?
okay, was that 2000? Yeah, that was 2001. Yeah, that no,
Yeah,
that was 2002. I think that was the year before LeBron. Was
that
it
was
2002?
2002. No, because Gilbert was in the same one as Shane Battier. Because I just watched that special.
So
The
it was definitely 2001 then because damn, now I'm trying to think. Wait, Gilbert was in Gilbert. No, Gilbert wasn't in the same draft as what's the name?
because Richardson is
What the hell was that
Jason
name?
Richardson. Jason Richardson was not Jason Richardson. Uh, Jefferson.
Richard Jefferson.
Richard Jefferson, right?
Hmm.
He was in the same draft as that too.
He was in the same draft as Kwame.
As Gilbert. As Gilbert.
I'm trying to. I feel like that was 2001. Who was the number one? Trying to see who was the number one pick in that draft. It was draft selections. Yeah, it was 2001. Cause wait, so he was in the same draft as Kwame?
Was that
Cause
2001?
what's the name was 2002. Yao Ming. So it had to been because it definitely was
2001. And then when was Kwame the so
Kwame.
Kwame
Kwame
was
had to been 2001.
yeah, so in that draft you had Richard Jefferson, you had Shane Battier. Yeah, those were in that draft.
That's crazy. And you look at all the players that was taken. But so here's the deal, man. Like that's the same thing with what's his name Milicic. I mean, it's LeBron, it's Melo, it's Bosh, it's Wade. All of these players around him are Hall of Famers. Like,
Dang. I mean, you had Kwame Brown. And I'm going back to that draft. You had
no, look,
Kwame
I'm looking at
Brown,
Tyson Chandler,
Tyson Chandler,
Paul
Paul
Gasol,
Gasol,
Joe
yeah,
Johnson,
Joe Johnson, who's
Zach,
a bucket. Yeah, yeah,
Gerald
Zach
Wallace,
Randolph. Yeah,
Tony
yeah.
Parker, Gil, like, yeah, Mehmet. I remember Mehmet. He was really good for a second.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jason Richardson was 5. Shane Battier was 6. Dog, look, if you look at all of these top players,
Eddie Curry was in that joint too, dog.
yeah,
Like,
and Eddie Curry didn't pan out, but he still had a better career, money wise. Dog, okay, last topic we go roll out, but this is like with Eddie Curry. I saw this thing with him, like he was a Vlad interview, and he was in this. This goes along with the topic of marriage. He was married, or he was providing child support. He was paying her directly. The mom waited until the child was about to turn 18 and she went and filed. And all the money that he gave her, they made it as a gift. So he still had to pay her child support for 18 years.
For 18 years.
Yeah. Even though he was giving her child support, just because he didn't mark it as child support, it was considered a gift.
That's wild. He should have put child support on one of them checks, right? He should have put child support. But I mean, he could have did what my man did for the and that was the coldest thing ever, too, dog. And I want people to understand this, right? Mm-hmm. So, my man from Minnesota, Anthony Edwards, right? Mm-hmm. He dropped how much was it? $1.3 million?
Yeah, he was trying to pay out all the child support.
Yeah, so he paid out all the child support. Dope as hell. I wish the
dopest move you can ever do.
Yes, because if you look at Blake Griffin and what he was paying for child support, the nigga was paying $50,000 a month, which is crazy. But yeah, but doing that, if you look at that and you do
Blake could fuck me for $50,000 a month.
No, he couldn't. We're gonna talk about that too.
We're
gonna talk about what's not for sale. What's not for sale. What is not for sale. We're gonna talk about what is not for sale. Like there is like Jay-Z got this, and I just heard it. Jay-Z got this. The price of everything and the value of nothing. No, nigga. No. We're gonna talk about stuff that is not for sale.
$50,000 a month. What the
fuck? That is crazy. That is $600,000 a year.
That is crazy.
And he still had to pay for the extracurriculars.
Blake, I'd be gay a little bit for just a little bit. I can't be that gay. I can be a little gay. But goddamn $50K.
No, man, they could pay you $50K a month to walk around this piece in a dress.
Shit. I ain't gonna do the gayness. I was joking about the gay, but the motherfucking dress? Shit.
Yeah, no, nigga, I ain't wearing no dress. Like it's just one thing. It's just one thing that like
I wear a dress to your
Shantae. You are not gonna wear. I will not let you wear a dress. I'll be like, nah, nigga, he ain't wearing no dress.
I will wear it discreetly. You will not know. I will not see Brian because, goddamn it, if you say, hey, wear a dress.
There's some things that are not for sale, and they're not gonna put you in a dress. They're not gonna put you on the run. No, dog, no.
What type of dress? Does it gotta be a skirt? Do it gotta be down to your knees? Do I have to wear knee highs? Like,
you got to wear the Roman.
Look, and I tell everybody all the time. They be like, "Man, why you wearing that dress?" I'm like, $50K a month, nigga.
Yeah, but. Let me get back to it. So that 1.3K, right? 1.3 billion, right? 10%. If you making, let's say you're making 10% interest a year on that, right? That's $60,000, dog.
Yeah.
So that lady can keep keep the $1.3 million for her child and just live off the interest for the year, right?
Yeah.
Live off the interest for the year.
Hmm.
Because if you do that, then the child will have a better start at the day. You don't get caught up in NBA girlfriend stuff. And if you work if you got 1.3K, you can get another 1 point something somewhere else if you that bad, right?
I don't
So
understand why these niggas is busting up in like what the fuck like.
you gotta understand, like even with Zion, like this whole new thing with Zion, I think it's just they like you don't get the training until it's too late, right? You don't get to
So I had to
like
train in early. Like I had to train
nah,
in
nah. So you telling me you ain't never let loose?
unless there's on the pill. Other than that, pull out game proper.
that
40,
that
48,
that
48
that
years young.
that is a lot of trust. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
listen. Look, the only time was literally if they was on the pill, and other than that, nah, I was not shooting up no clubs.
Yeah, yeah.
People were like, "Why
Sometimes
ain't you got no kids?" I was like, "I ain't shot up no club yet." Like what the fuck? Like it was either in the condom or shit. It was on the blanket or a sheet. Like 48 years young, none. Nobody
yeah.
clubs get shot up. Unless you got some type of IUD or something. Fuck all that
Hey, it
shit.
happens, dog. It
No,
happens,
I
and I
get. I
mean,
mean,
like,
but I'm saying for
but
these dudes though, like these dudes have been famous forever. Like you look at Ant, like Ant was dope in high school. Ant was dope at Georgia, and then he was the number one pick.
see
Like
what?
you have been
See,
dope forever.
I'm gonna tell
Why
you this
shoot
though,
up little baby's mom vag? Like that makes
man.
no sense
I'm
to
gonna
me.
tell you. I'm gonna tell you. You don't know how good some of these girls are.
They
You
ain't
know
never
what
that good. I done had some
I'm saying?
amazing, and
What
I'm
else?
still like, oh no, gotta pull it, no, And some of them be like trying to I mean,
They talk to you in your
don't take it
ear,
out.
and
Like, no, yes, we taking it out.
they told you in
What
your ear, and you just was like, I'm the
you doing?
fool. Yeah,
No. 48 years young. Never shot no clubs are being
that is
shot up
good
unless there's
discipline,
some
my
form of
man.
protection
Like
there.
there is a lot of women out here that have that are Eve's daughters. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna
Look,
just be like that
look,
because
I
it
shot
got
up
me
one
one time.
club and she got pregnant. And that was years ago. That was like year 2000 when she got pregnant. And she ended up not having it, or she ended up losing it. And bro, I was praying so hard. It's some sad shit, but I was praying so. I was like, man, God,
We go,
please don't let
we
this
go.
baby come into this world. Like I literally, I'm in college. I'm trying to figure it out. And mind you, I told you that was the time my financial aid shit got fucked up and shit. So
Right.
I'm like, fuck. I was like, I ain't gonna have no money. She was talking about quitting school. I'm like, yo, why you quitting school? Like, stay in school, kill the kill the baby. But it's just like that nigga. And I went through the worst emotional roller coaster in my life in that time, and I was like, never again. I was
I'm gonna
like,
tell you. I'm gonna
unless
tell
it's
you,
by
cuz.
intention in
I'm gonna
design.
tell you, cuz.
Mm-hmm.
I have went through that anxiety, and she had the baby, right?
Mm-hmm.
After we discussed that we ain't want none, and it
Mm-hmm.
is to this day my the anti Brian in me. I ain't never wanted to hit no girl, but I sure wanted to shake the shit out of her. Oh
Yeah,
my god,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I would like, and then the thing about that sucks, is that you can't, you don't control the narrative, or you can't
Yeah,
control the narrative. You're dependent on someone else's narrative, for your life now,
right.
and
For
that's
your life, that nigga said
yeah,
for your
for
life.
your life. Yeah,
Yeah,
and you have, and that's like that chick. Say for instance, the Ant-Man chick, she's going to come back and ask for more money. Did he pay it
no,
out?
he got it signed off. He got it signed off. And that was a trick to it, right?
Okay.
Because if he didn't get it signed off, basically he was
Yeah,
like,
because he's
"Yo,
gonna get more deals, and she's gonna ask for. I would,
yeah,
honestly, if I
yeah,
was her, I wouldn't have signed off on that.
But dog, you got 1.3 right away where you ain't got to hassle and worry about this stuff, dog. Like you,
All you gotta do is put a coin.
or he could fall and never play again. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a gamble each way. Like what you say? Take the money up front.
But what I'm saying is more potential to get more money later.
What you say? What'd you say? What'd you say, Sean? You just
That
said it.
makes sense. I'm with
Yeah,
you. I'm with you.
yeah.
No, but I'm thinking about it from the standpoint, like say for instance, Ant-Man, right? I mean, of
Yeah.
course, you rolling the dice on injuries and stuff like that. But he signed that extension. I think he's like once, or probably like maybe 200 million, something like that. He signs another extension, probably end up staying with Minnesota. You could bump that. I don't know what does that equate to? Like 20,000 a month, 50,000 a month? What? No, this got to be less than that. It's got to be. So was it 1 point? Because she got what, 1.6?
Let's do the math. 18 times 24. I mean times 12 is
Yeah, because she got is it
200.
1.6?
Yeah, what must be 1.6.
Yeah.
So that's 216, right? So so that's 1.6 divided by 2.
All she got was 1.6 million.
Yeah.
That ain't a lot.
Compared to what?
I mean, she already got a baby daddy. She got little babies, her other baby daddy.
Yeah. Oh, really?
So she got money.
Yeah. Yeah.
Divided by 18, divided by 12. I mean,
So that's 7,000. That's $7,000 a month.
Yeah, 7,500,
7,500,
7,400 a month.
Yeah.
That ain't a lot. For a nigga making $200 million?
Yeah. But see,
no, I'm saying he came out the best.
No, dog, because it ain't. It's a lot of mothers getting zero.
It's a lot of mothers getting $50,000 a month. I told you, Blake Griffin can come and terrorize me with his penis for $50,000 a month.
No,
come
he
over
cannot.
here, big.
No,
Blakey.
he cannot. Blake, you cannot.
Blakey, what we doing
right
today?
now.
Just a little gay today, not no full
No,
gay.
he cannot. No, he cannot. No, he cannot. He cannot.
Oh, shit.
He cannot. Blake, keep your penis over in that white girl. He got a white girlfriend.
50,000? Oh my God, that is life changing.
Yeah,
that's life changing for anybody. Oh shit. All right, man. Thanks for jumping on. How long we about at 2 hours and shit. I'm trying to decide if I'm gonna split this one up. I don't know.
Oh shoot! Wait. So Blake's Griffin and his ex-fiance Byron Cameron reportedly reached a child support agreement. Through the details about the exact amount have been disputed. While initially reports suggested that he was ordered to pay $258,000 a month.
Oh shit! You can really fuck you for that. You wouldn't let me fuck Blake for $258,000?
No, nigga, no.
Blake
we get it some other way. We get it some other way.
You get all this virgin ass.
Yeah. So TMZ said that he was suggesting. I heard 50K a month, but TMZ said that it was more like 32K. Because when he had got it adjusted. This is when he was playing for the Pistons, making $17 million a year.
Mm-hmm.
He had got it. He was going to get it adjusted because that is wild. For $258,000 a month.
Look at it like this. Back to the original part of that conversation. He was making $17 million a year in 2008, 2009, and Jordan was making $30 million in 1996. $30 million.
That was 2018, 2019, right? Blake played
I
for.
think it's that. Yeah, 2019, 2008. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was making that then.
And that was one of them supermax contracts where he had made, I think 58 million. I mean 50 million, like 58. Yeah. It was something where like he might have got the. Was he one of the first $100 million deals?
No. Juwan Howard back. Juwan Howard and then Shaq.
No, I'm talking about after the CBA. I'm talking about the regular.
Oh no, what's the nigga? He played for Minnesota right now. crazy. He got some. If you look up his money, he was right. What's the older guard that used to play with Greg Oden?
Connolly.
Yeah, Conley. He was the first one that got bust down after the CBA. He got like I think he
that
got
Memphis money.
Yeah, he got like 141 million if I remember correctly. But I'm like, damn. No, actually, I think that was Utah. I think that was Utah money.
No, he was with the Minnesota at that time.
It was Minnesota. Okay.
Yeah, cool. And then because he just played with Utah, maybe because they kind of sent him off. It was a nice little bump because he played most of his years with Memphis.
Okay.
Yeah, and there was a small market. They didn't really have nobody that was coming to him anyway, and he was doing his job. So him and Tony Allen. Yeah.
Zach.
Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah. Well, man, this is a good time, man. Can't wait to do it again. But yeah, we break it up. That's cool because I watched the other one, the whole one.
I'm about to catch up with Blake.
No, no. You can't go down, nigga. You can't go down. No.
Like, what up, Blake? What up, Blake? Ow.
But that do kind of made me think, man. Maybe if I would have trained harder, I could have been in the NBA. You know what I'm saying? And got $1 million.
No. Look at it like this, right? This goes to the original part of the conversation. If we had people in our lives saying, I mean, because we used to hoop all the time.
Yeah.
You know, if we had people because you look at Muskegon now, as far as the basketball teams and the success that they've had in the past, we didn't have nobody that was pushing, that was driving us. We just was like, okay, let's go hoop at Craig, or let's go hoop at, Ross Park, or like wherever. Like, we were trying to drive ourselves to get better. And I remember it was late nights, me and you just be like one-on-one up at Craig and type of shit. But, we were just doing that to get better. And we didn't have anybody that, like the resources to say, this can be a thing to get to the league, or play college ball, or even play like high school ball. Like, we didn't have nobody. We didn't I fuck with my uncles and, and all that and family and stuff like that. But we didn't have nobody, saying, hey man, let's go to the park. Let's go hoop for 2 hours.
Let's go work on your left and your right. Let's go.
Yeah,
let's go.
It was just literally us going up against each other type of shit. And
us just trying to fight and stay on the court. That was the other lesson that we learned, being up there playing, and then the grown-ups come and they be like, niggas, get off. It's only one rim.
Yep. So it's things like that I feel like now we have more that's available to the kids and all that stuff. But I feel like that still kind of, I don't know, say it molded us as well. Like, even though I wasn't a quote unquote, because I feel like even within high school, I feel like they, like, when we got there, they had their favorites. So when they had their favorites, we had no chance.
Right.
Like, and that's just what it was. It's like damn, like, shit, you just had us, killing this practice and shit, and
coming in first and everything, and then we still suck. Like,
look, and we getting off, and we hooping, we scoring and stuff like that. But I still remember. And don't get me wrong, I mean, he could hoop, but I remember Gary. Can't remember. Gary. Forgot his last name.
Ferry. Not what's his name?
I feel like it's. God, I can't remember, but I remember he got moved up to varsity. Like, and he's like, damn, like, we ain't never like Gary had hoop, but he just literally shot up the varsity. He was like, wait a minute, how in the heck he get put on varsity? Gary Humphrey, yeah. He got put on varsity, and we could barely get on a. We
didn't even get on the
JV. Can't get on the JV team and shit. So it's kind of like, like I said,
but you know what?
Having favorites ended up excluding us out of the equation to be on those teams.
But
because nobody worked harder than me, in my opinion. Like, I bust, like, nobody on the court would ever outwork me. Like,
Morani, I'll ass kiss you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll ass kiss you, and I wouldn't. And then I'm gonna be 100 with you. It may have been your association with me, and because me and Coach Duran he was the head coach of the varsity, and we had a run in because his brother working for my mom. Did I tell you whatever happened? Okay, so I come to my crib one night. I come to the crib one night, and Mr. Duran is there with his brother. Right now,
Mm-hmm.
his brother is gay. I
Mm-hmm.
used to sleep in the basement. You know, I used to sleep in the basement.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't had no door, and then people used to walk through. I have a big water bed right there. So when you came downstairs, my bed is right there, big water bed, and then you keep walking to the right, and there's the washroom, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I woke up one day, and his big ass brother was standing at the end of my bed. I said, "Nigga, what? Like, what's it like? Don't do that." You know what I'm saying? Like, and so
What
I
the
told my mom,
fuck?
yeah, tell my mom about it, right? So
Uh-huh.
then, well, I didn't even tell her about it right there. I was like, "Yo, this nigga can't be sitting at the end of my bed." You know what I'm saying? Looking at me, right? That's weird as fuck, right?
Woo.
So then I was at because we had to take his shoes off when you come in the crib, right? So I was
Mm-hmm.
putting on my shoes at the door, and he was like, "Look at that." And I said, "Dog, we gonna have a real problem if you ever talk to me like that again. Like I don't care who you is, what you do, but this ain't it, right?"
Mm-hmm.
Told my mom that he was making me feel uncomfortable in my house. She told him that she was he was probably gonna have to let her go, right? Let him go, right?
Mm-hmm.
I get to the crib one day and Mr. Duran is there, right?
Mm-hmm.
He at the table sitting with my mom or what you call it. And then like he was like he was acting like I was lying on him or something. I was like, "No, let me tell you something. This is my house. I live here. It was also my mom's business, but I still live there. You know what I'm saying?"
Why?
And like I
So
was like, "Yo, you don't make
why do
me
you got
feel
to lie about
comfortable."
that?
Right, right. Why would I lie
Why
about
would
that?
you make that one up? I mean, I feel like sometimes, like, the crying wolf and stuff like that, but like, I mean, I feel like it's more prevalent within rape case and all that stuff. But I mean, like I said, I can't speak to people. I mean, people have their situations. Some people done got raped or touched or and then other people haven't. But all that being said, that's some fuck shit. Like that's
Yeah.
not cool to. I mean, I mean, how old were you at this time? Maybe like 15, 14, somewhere.
Yeah, we was coming out of freshman year. I mean, yeah, freshman year. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, 15, going on 16, right? And I say that to say that me and Mr. Dorn, I knew I was never gonna make one of his teams. I just
Mm-hmm.
didn't think that because Mr. Aarons and he had coached us before too, right? And
Yeah,
like
he coached us in
yeah,
eighth grade.
Coach Aarons, and
No,
so
no,
like
actually, he coached us in ninth grade.
no, because that was Mr. Kanar.
Yeah, so it was eighth grade then. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So
Wow,
yeah,
that's crazy.
I say that, and so like me and Mr. Duran never got on the. Actually, I'm cool with his wife, and so like now I see him, and
It's
it's
still tension.
I don't have
That's
no
crazy.
I don't have no animosity towards him, but like I really felt like he didn't put me on that team, especially after talking to Uncle Charles. He was like, "Yo, what happened? Like you was on one of the bunker little things as one of the rising stars, and you ain't make the team." It's
Mm-hmm.
like nah. And I
Nah,
think
but
they put a ninth grade on that team at one point too, right?
on the
On the JV team,
uh,
they put Jakarta on there.
he was on the JV team.
Yeah, because he ended up going up to the varsity.
Because I remember Tommy Head ended up going to varsity for um I feel like it was for the what you call it, the tournament or whatever.
Yeah,
I remember because he was in ninth grade. He was a year after us. But yeah, I remember.
yeah,
But
and I
it's
know they
still.
wanted to have like Jelani and everybody else up there, but like I
But
really
look at
wanted
it
to
like
play them
this,
niggas
right?
one on one.
Like mom looked down. Not to say looked down because she went to hikes, but it was always looked down on hikes as being like a all black school, whatever. So it's kind of like that's where the niggas go type of shit. And it's like just imagine, like, because I remember, what's the name of their coach? He might have passed or whatever, but he's the one that took them to the Silver Dome. What was his name? Gilbert, Coach Gilbert. I remember hooping with. I don't know if you remember. What was all them boys? I think one of them stayed in Atlanta, but I remember we would scrimmage against the Hikes players. But then I remember one year, that was ninth grade. I went out there and I played in some basketball tournament that was at what's the name of that park? I can't remember the name of the park in the Heights.
John Alpha Summit and beyond Wicklow.
Yep.
Johnny O'Harris.
Okay.
Dang, this stuff
Damn,
is coming
that was
back.
the name of it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But I had played in the tournament out there, and Coach Gilbert has said, "Man, you should come out here and look at hikes or whatever." And I was like, and I never like, but Mom was like, "No, you ain't going to hikes." I
Did
was
she
like,
go to Heights?
"Yeah, yeah."
Okay. Yeah, because all of my kids went to Heights, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So but not to say that would have guaranteed me a spot or anything like that, but at the same time, thinking a certain way, because I say this all the time, like if I ever had kids or any of the kids I mentor or work with, I'm gonna help them as much as I can to make sure that they don't have to necessarily struggle, in a sense. Like if they need help with a resume, I'm not going to tell them go and figure it out. I'm gonna show them how to write it, and then because they have all of the tools afforded to them already, where they can Google stuff, but I'll still help them write that. I'm not going to say, well, you fill out your application because that's the school that you're going to. It's like, no, I'm gonna fill out the application to make sure that they get scholarships and help them as much as possible, so it's not a burden on them. And it's not like I'm babying them, but I need to make sure that they get the proper, because I was at school reckless. Like I couldn't afford to one place. I was staying in a house and the rent was $175, and I had to move back on campus because I couldn't afford $175 a month. And I moved back on campus to become an RA because the housing was free. Yeah. Literally the only reason why I moved back on campus. I couldn't afford us $100. We staying in a 3-bedroom house, and we was each paying $175, and I couldn't afford it. You know what I'm saying? Man. So
again, like you said, I feel you, because and there's so much talent, and I'm back at home in Muskegon right now. And I'm gonna have to get out of here because my whatchamacallit about to die.
But there's
so much talent, so much talent in here. It's reach up and catch one, and I think that's where the legacy gonna be built at. You know what I'm saying? Reaching up and catching one.
No, but and then we wrap up. But look at it like this, right? The drive that we had, or the push that we had, if it was directed, like that's why I really try to push for mentoring and things like that. Because if you tell me, if you say, Sean, Brian, in order for you to get to the NBA, you have to do 2 workouts a day. You have to play ball for 3 hours a day. You have to do these particular trainings an hour a day. We would do it. just for that opportunity. Even if
you just showed me how to get to the what is it, NIL money, I would have did it. You know what I'm saying? I would have been like, I build a hype machine. What? Okay.
It's nothing that you would like. I never believed in limits. Like if you say you have to do this, then I would do it. Like I remember Coach Aaron would run the fuck out of us, like trying to get on the the 8th, 9th grade team and shit. And like I'm like, fuck, damn, but shit, we had to do it.
Yeah.
So, but cool. In the interest of time, and I know you got to wrap up, but thanks for jumping on, man. Great conversation. Always enjoy talking to you. I'm still gonna take $100 million over a ring, no matter what. Outside of that,
I think I can do more with the $100 million in the ring. Like unless the ring got me something where I could be like, I'm owning something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
and it depends on like my capacity in the ring. Like if I'm just gonna jump on a team, like I don't know, like Gary Payton in 2006 on that Miami team, like because people don't recognize Gary Payton as a champion. Gary Payton's a fucking NBA champion. Shit, fucking somebody what's the nigga? Then we'll drop, but DeMarcus Cousins.
Oh yeah, on Golden State, right?
No, on the Lakers in the bubble.
Oh yeah, that's right.
But he wasn't on a team.
Yeah,
but he got cut at the right time. Like he got cut like March. It was like March. The last week, it was around my birthday, like March 21st, 22nd. He got cut that year, but since he was on the team for that year,
for most of that year, he got
a ring.
Yeah.
Oh, but cool. But thanks for joining. Appreciate you. And can't wait to talk again.
All right.
Peace.
Holla.